Hello everyone, welcome again for another tutorial of bead bag making. So today I'm going to show you the simple way to make your beaded lap bag or heart-shaped bead bag. I'm going to show you the simple and easy way to make it. Let's get started. So these are colorful beads that I have here in 8mm. These are just colorful beads I found very cheap in the store. I'm going to use it to create this lap shape bag. So I have my 50-pound beaded wire over here. So I have here in 50 pounds. That's the thickness of the line, okay? And this is how it's looking like. I have a little ply over here to cut off any thread. So let's start with 4 beads on the line. We are going to do 4 flower beading. We are going to start with 4 flower beading. So I put 4 beads on the line and I'm going to hold my other line and cross the last bead and pull like this and pull it down. So this is what we have right now. This is what we are going to start with, 4 flower beading. And I'm going to add again on my line. On each line I'm going to add one bead like this. So on each line, put 1 bead on the line and cross both ends of your line into the 3rd bead and pull. This is 4 flower beading. We have 1 in common and we'll be adding 3 bead. So now we have 2 flowers done. This is how it's looking like. Very beautiful already. So on each line, I'm adding 1 bead again on my line. And I'm going to cross both ends of my line into this 3rd one and pull. So we have 3 done. This is how we are going to start, and I'm going to make 12 of this. Okay, we are going to continue to make 12. So continue to make yours. This is 3 and we are going to make 12. This is 12 that I made already. And here on my turn, I'm going to turn with only 2 bead. 2 bead on my turn, okay? So I add 2 bead on my line and I'm crossing the last one and pull. So we now end in 3 bead. You see how it's looking like? This is how it's looking like, okay? We end with 2 bead. On this line, I'm adding 3 bead to it. 3 bead. So again, I'm going to cross the last bead with my other line and pull. Go through the next bead. And I'll be adding 2 bead. Crossing my line into the last bead and pull. And now this is what we have. I'm going to go through the next bead again. So this line into the next bead. This one is a colorful bead, so I just mix all the colors. This line, 2 bead. I'm adding 2 bead to it, crossing the other line into the last one and pull. And that is how we are going to add bead to this row. We are going to go through all the edge bead and add 2 bead to it. Into the next bead, this line, 2 bead. Cross and pull. The next bead, add 2 bead. Like this. Now I'm going to cross and pull. And this is what we have. We are going to repeat this and do it to the end. 2 bead. I'm pulling my line through the last bead and pull. This is how it's looking like. I'm going to go through all the edge bead and add 2 bead to it. And now I'm coming to the end of this row. I'm adding 2 bead to my line, cross and pull. And this is the last bead that I'll be going through on the row. This bead. So I pull my line through the bead And this line, the same line, I'm adding 2 bead to the line so I can turn. Okay, 2 bead to the line. And now this is how we are going to turn it. This is how it's turned. This is where my line is. It's in the yellow bead over here. You see the line here in this bead. So I'm going to create a new row going this direction. Okay, so on my line, on each line I add one bead to my line, and I'm crossing both ends of my line into this bead and pull. The same way we started, we are repeating the same technique over here again. So on each line, one bead on each line, like this, and I'm crossing both ends of my line into this bead and pull. So we are repeating the same number of bead we made over here on the first row. We are going to repeat the same thing over here too, on this side. We are using the same technique. I'm just crossing both ends of my line into this bead and pull. So repeat the same technique over here. Continue the same number you made for the first row. We are going to repeat the same number over here. The same number of bead. Okay, I made 12 over here. We started with 12, and this side too we are going to make 12. All right, 12 and 12, and on this 12 we are going to turn again. I'm going to turn on this 12, and I'm turning with 2 bead, like how we did for the first one. Adding in 2 bead over here. Let me turn this. This is how it's looking like. You see, we end in 2 bead. This one over here, the same thing. We have to repeat the same thing here too. So we end here in 2 bead. And now I'm going to continue to weave. On this line, I'm going to add 3 bead to my line. I'm going to go through the next bead, and I'll be adding 2 bead. 2 bead. Into the next bead, 2 bead. Like how we did for the first row, we are repeating the same thing over here again. I'm going to go to the next bead, and I'll be adding 2 bead. Going to the next bead, I'm going through the edge bead and adding 2 bead to my line. Go to the next, add 2 bead to the other line, cross and pull. So we are going to repeat the same thing, go through all the edge bead. So when we come to the middle, this is the middle that we are here, we are going to go through 2 bead, this and this one. So we are going to go through these 2 bead. I'm pulling my line through this, and this is the second one that I'm going through. Alright, my line is now in 3 bead. This is where my line is, like this. This is how it should look like. In the middle, we are going to go through 2 bead in the middle. And so in the middle, I only need 1 bead to cross both ends of my line into it, like this. So we have to continue again into the next bead and repeat the same technique that we did previously. So I'm going through the next bead, and I'll be adding 2 bead to my line. I'm adding 2 bead. Okay, I'm going to go to the next bead. That's how we are going to continue. Continue through the next bead and add 2 bead. Add 2 bead to your line. cross the other line into the last one and pull, and continue like that to the end and turn again. So now my line is end over here is very short, so I'm going to end over here, pull in another line. So this is how it's looking like. This is how the weave is looking like. Continue to the end. So now over here I'm about to complete this roll again, so I'm going through my last bead over here. Go to last bead, add 2 bead. The same line you pull through the bead, I'm adding 2 bead to it. Cross and pull. So over here we have to turn this line, 3 bead. I add 3 bead to my line. The turn is over here is just a normal turn with 3 bead. Let me flip it because I'm right-handed, so I can weave. Into the next bead, I add 2 bead to my line. I'm going to go to the next bead, 2 bead. The same technique. We are continuing with the same technique. I pack the same pink, so I change it to green. Okay, I'm going to continue to the middle, and now we are in the middle again. We are going to go through 2 bead, this and this bead. If you come to the middle, you have to go through 2 bead and add 1 bead to the line. 1, and here is the second one, this one. I'm going to go to the second one, okay? And now the number of bead to cross your lining is 1 bead. You have to pick only 1 bead over here. This is where my line is. It's in 3 bead over here like this. I need 1 bead to cross my line in 3 and then continue my weaving. So we are going to continue on the other side. Go through the next bead and add 2 bead to it. Into the next bead, add 2 bead, then you continue the same way that we are beading. 2 bead. I'm going to go through the next bead, and I'm adding 2 bead to the line. Go to the next bead. This is how we are going to weave and continue to the end. Then we come back again in the middle, pick 2 and then continue again. So here too, on this row, I'm coming to the end, so I'm pulling my line through the last bead over here, and I'll be adding 2 bead. This line, 2 bead. And now we are about to turn again. We are just going to continue. Let me change this. Too much blue over here, so I'm changing it with another bead. So over here we just have to continue. On my line, I add 3 bead. Cross the other line into the last bead and pull. I'm going to go to the next bead and add 2 bead. And I'm going to continue like that to the middle. And now that I'm in the middle, I want to show you how we are going to go again. In the middle, I'm going to go through 2 bead, this and this, these 2 over here. That's what I'm going to go through. I'm pulling line through my first one, and here is the second one. And I'm going to use 1 bead to cross both ends of my line into it. I pick only 1 bead, not 2, but 1 bead, okay? Then you continue on the other side. So we are going to like this. This is how the weave is looking like. You see the shape is coming, looking nice. So continue, come back, continue, come back until we fill up the whole space, okay? But I'm going to leave a little space at the top. This is how it's looking like. Very colorful and very beautiful, beautiful bead. This is a glass bead that I'm using. Very beautiful. So continue to do it. I'll continue to do mine off camera. And here is my weave. I'm about to complete. So I'm using the same color of bead to do the edge. I'm going to go through the next bead like this. Okay, I'm using this color to do the edge of it. So beautiful. I'm adding 2 beads. So I pick that color first before any other color I want to pick. I'm going to go through the last bead, the pink one right here, into the next bead. I'm adding 2 beads to my line. So this is how it's looking like. Okay, this is how the weave is looking like. If you complete this one, this is how it's looking like. Very colorful, very beautiful, and it takes the heart shape already. You can see it yourself. Very pretty. And now we are going to continue with this. And if you make this is the middle of it, you have to make sure your half, the middle, when you come to the middle, everything is equal on the side. Not like one side is longer than the other. Okay, everything should be equal, should look very equal. And this is how it's looking like. And when you complete with one, you have to do another one again. So that means we are making 2 of this. Okay, we are making 2. This is the first one we made, and I made another one too. So we are making 2 of this, and I'm going to show you how we're going to create on the edge. Okay, we are going to weave on the edge before we join both of them together. So now this is where my line is, but I'm going to work my way and come to the pink bead on the top, this bead. So I'm going to work my way with my line, going through this bead. I'm going to make my way and come to the top into the pink bead. I'm crossing my line into this pink bead over here, like this. This is where my line is. And we are going to continue with this crystal bead. Crystal bead also in 8mm. Okay, this is how it's looking like. We are going to you weave around the edge with this crystal bead. So I'm starting with 3 beads, like this. I'm crossing my line into the last one and pull. I'm going to go through the next bead. Okay, I'm going to go through the bead from the back. I'm going to go through the next bead and I'll add 2 beads. Into the next one. Add 2 beads to the line. I'm going to go through this one again. And I'm adding 2 beads to my line. And I'm going to cross and pull. Into the next bead, going through the white one. 2 beads. So this is how we are going to repeat around the edge until we complete the whole shape. Okay, so I'm going through this yellow one over here, and I'll be adding 2 beads to my line. I'm going to go through the next bead and add 2 beads. So this is what we are going to do. This is how it's looking like. Okay, very beautiful clear crystals. We are going to continue around the shape, round, until we come to the end. And this is how the first row is looking like. Very pretty and very beautiful. This beaded lap bag is looking pretty already. So we are going to turn again in this bead. I'm adding 2 bead to my line. I pull my line through the green bead over there, and I add 2 bead to my line because I'm going to turn over here and create another row. I'm going to build on this crystal first layer. We are going to make another row on it again. Okay, so this line 3 bead. We are starting with 3, and we are going to continue with 2 bead, the same technique that we use. We are using the same technique throughout the entire weave. 2 bead. We're going to go to the next bead, and I'll be adding 2 bead to my line. Into the next bead, 2 bead. So this is how the weave is looking like. This is the second layer I'm weaving on top. I'm going to continue off camera until I complete, and this is how it's looking like. I'm already done. So now I'm going to continue. I'm halfway done and more than halfway done to complete this one, and this is how it's looking like. I just want to show you how the weave is going on. Okay, so I'm going to go around and complete this shape, and I'm going to go ahead and do the second one too, and do the same thing to the second one. We are going to weave 2 rows on it. Okay, now both of them is done. I complete it. I weave around the edge, 2 rows on each. This one too, I made 2 rows on it. Okay, so we are going to put these 2 pieces together and join them. That's where we will have our beaded heart-shaped bag. Okay, our beaded love bag. So my line is in this bead. I'm going to put it on it, on the other piece, then we're going to join it together. I'm adding 1 bead to my line, then I'm going to go through this bead on the other piece, this one. I'm pulling my line through it. Okay, so I'm going to take another bead. I'm pulling my line tight. I'm taking 1 bead. I'm going to cross both ends of my line into this one and then pull down. Okay, this is how we are going to start. Now I'm going to pull my line through the next bead. This line into the next one, this one to the next one. To take 1 bead, this one, cross both ends of my line into this bead and pull like that. I'm going to repeat the same thing. Go through the next bead, this one to the next bead, take 1 bead. This is where my line is. Take 1 bead, cross both ends of your line into the bead and pull. I'm going to go through the next bead again. Take 1 bead and cross both ends of the line into it and pull. And this is how the weave is looking like. You see how everything is emerging nicely. Very beautiful clear crystals. The edge and the side very pretty. So we are going to continue like that until we complete the whole shape. Okay, and this is how it's going to look like. I'm going to continue going through bead and adding it. This is how it's looking like. I complete joining the 2 pieces together, and it's looking very beautiful. Very beautiful. Beaded heart-shaped bag. very beautiful bag. So now we are just going to, this is my line, and we are just going to make a simple strap on this bag. It's going to be a crossbody bag. So I'm going through this bead over here, going to pull my line through this one on the side. I'm going to pull the end of this one through this one. Then I'm going to cross both ends into the top bead. I'm crossing it this one. Cross it here, hold the other end, and cross the opposite direction. So cross this one to the opposite direction and have both line in that bead like this. I'm just going to make a simple strap over here. I'm adding one bead on each line. Then I'm going to pull my line together like this, and I'm going to pull both ends of my line through one bead and pull. And what we are going to do here, we are just going to continue to string the bead on it. I'm just going to make a pattern with the colorful bead. Then the next will be the crystal. I'm just stringing my bead on the line. This one, the colorful first. Then I'm going to continue like this. Then I'm going to continue with the crystal bead. But just feel free to use your own colorful bead, whatever you want to use, and the pattern you want to make for the strap or the bag. That depends on you, your preference, okay? So this is how I'm going to make it. I put the colorful first, crystals, then I continue with the colorful one. Then I'm going to continue again with crystals. That is how the pattern is going to go like this. But now I want to open the line and I'm going to tie over here. So my bead will not run down the line, okay? I'm tying here in the middle to make it strong, to let my bead stay on the line. So I'm just tying over here to make it firm and strong. Then I'm going to continue again. I'm holding both ends together and I'm going to string another crystals on my line. So just do whatever you're comfortable with. That depends on you, your preference. And this is how it's looking like. And now I've done it long, because I want it to be a crossbody bag. So the strap has to be long, so you can wear it on your body. So that one too, the strap to depend on you. So I'm going to end with 2 beads. So let me turn it this way. You see how we started with 3 beads over here? We have to end in this bead again on the opposite side. So I add one bead on my line, okay, like this, and I'm going to cross it into this edge bead over here, the middle bead. That's where I'm crossing my line into. We pull the other line through the bead and pull. Then I'm going to go back. This is how it's looking like. This is how the strap is looking like. Very beautiful and very colorful bag. This hat beaded bag is really looking beautiful. So pull. Now I'm going to pull my line back up into this bead. I'm going up through this bead. The other one too, I'm going to come through this bead over here. Then I'm going to tie both lines. Tie them together. Then you can come back and weave the rest of the line through the bead. Weave it through the bead and then trim it off. And this is how it's looking like. But I want us to make it a little tweak on it. So we are going to make a little charms on the bag with our bead because we have a little colorful bead left, and I want to just make some charms on it. Okay, I'm going through this bead. I'm going to hold the end and tie. I'm just going to go through this bead over here, the purple one over here. I'm just going to tie. Okay, then I'm going to go through. Okay, let me tie this one more time to make sure it's well secured before I trim it off. Okay, so I'm just tying in between the bead over here. I'm pulling my line through the bead and I'm making a loop. So I'm going to pull the long one through it and make sure it's well secured enough. Make sure it's tight before I trim it off. Okay, what I'm going to go to this bead and this bead. Go through this, the middle bead over here, and this one. Then I have my line down. I'm going to string a bead on it like this. What I'm going to do, that depends on you. You can make it long or make it short. I picked 10 beads. This is 10 bead on the line. Okay, so I'm going to leave the first edge one, the last one. I'm leaving the last one. Then I'm going to pull my line back through all the beads. Okay, leave this one and come through all the beads with the line. Don't miss any. Okay, you can't miss any bead. Make sure the line go through all the beads. Now it's here like this. This is how we are going to hang all this bead on the bag. Very, very pretty and beautiful one. Now I'm going to go through the next bead with my line. This bead, just pull it through the next bead, then and pull. Okay, so it's in the middle over here. This is where it is. Now I want you to string bead again. I use the same number of bead. I leave the first one and I'm going through all this bead over here into the next bead. Okay, I'm just going through all the beads over here. There, I'm coming through the last one and pull. And this is how the second one is looking like. We are done with 2. I'm going to pull my line through the next bead again. Pull. Don't pull tight. You can't pull too tight. Okay, because you want it to hang nice on the bag. So go through the next bead and come to the middle. And now we are going to string another bead on it again. String 10 bead again. Now I'm going to leave the first one. This is 10. I'm going to leave the first and come through all the beads. You can do 12, you can do 15, depend on you how long you want that bead to hang on your bag. Okay, make it nice and beautiful, what you like, what you want to see, what you want to have. Just make it your own, what you prefer. Do what you're comfortable with. Okay, so I'm pulling my line through all the beads over here. The same way we are going to repeat the same thing. I'm going to come, pull my line through the bead, the next bead again. So this is how it's looking like. Very, very beautiful. This is how it's looking like. And we are going to continue into the bead. Continue round the shape. You can do it all, and I'm going to do mine off camera. Okay, I'm going to do it off camera and come back and meet you right here. This is how it's looking like. This is how the hang, our charms, is looking like on the bag. Very, very pretty, very beautiful, very, very beautiful. This love bead bag is looking so beautiful already. So I'm going to do continue to do my off camera and come and meet you back here. And if you are done, this is how it's going to look like. Very, very beautiful, very pretty, very beautiful, colorful, and it's nice. You can make it for people, make it for your friends and loved ones. So this is our final product. Look at how beautiful it's looking like. This is our final product of this love beaded bag, and it's looking pretty already. You can do it at the back. I just make the front view for this one. So if you like, you can make these charms at the back too of the bag. It's very, very beautiful, very hangy, very colorful. You can make it for your friends, your loved ones, and it's a very, very pretty and beautiful bag. I really appreciate your time for joining me again in this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, turn on notifications for any new video that I'll be uploading so you don't miss on it. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.